Marty says, very excited for this one. Bob Dylan is the best songwriter of all time, next to Lennon, in my opinion. Interesting. Best songwriter of all time. That's a heavy statement there, Marty. All right, so this is my first time reacting to Bob Dylan. His name sounds familiar, so maybe I've reacted to something of his previously, but I can't tell you what. I can't tell you when, but his name does sound familiar. Okay, so we're reacting to the times. They are changing. All right, let's jump in.
Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, or the times they are a-changing. Some writers and critics who prophesize with your pen, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin, and there's no telling who that it's naming. Was the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are a-changing. Senator.
I so this song has me curious, Boyd. Why did you think it would be like a very interesting song for me to react to? Because I'm listening to it and it sounds like commentary, right? And I don't I listen to music, and I it's not often that you come across a song that is literally commentary, right? So Boyd said Boyd was a contrarian and a revolutionary. Well, I could see some hints in that by the 1 minute and 19 seconds of the lyrics, because that he's very interesting in the way he frames. He's not just singing, right? He's not just singing. He is telling you something. He is trying to grab, or not necessarily trying, but he is talking about specific things that are currently happening that could like grab your attention. It's a commentary on society, a commentary on social and the political maybe things of what's happening. So it's very interesting to see a guy like Bob Dylan, and his name sounds so familiar. But the things he's talking about, he's like, come writers. He said, come writers, come something with your pen, and then he says, let's just go back a few moments because this is important, right?
And you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone.
So just with this lyrics, I think this is the start where it kind of like came up to me, because and you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, because that is such an important kind of thing to really understand. I'm just gonna use an example right now. In terms of where we are in society with technology and AI, right? So a lot of people are seeing AI as this thing that is coming to steal and destroy and blah 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 blah. So I can apply this to what Bob Dylan just said, right? If you don't start swimming, you'll sink like a stone, whereby if you don't kind of work along with AI or understand AI or actually even try to compete with AI in a way, you will sink like a stone. in the future because technology is going to change. Things are going to change. Life is going to change. And if you keep hating something and have no changes or uh, no intention of flowing with it, then it's kind of like you're gonna be left back. You're not going to get ahead, right? So when Bob Dylan talks like this, it just means that I can apply this to anything, really and truly. So I'm just gonna read some comments. Okay, so Marty's saying that Bob Dylan had so much influence on the Beatles too, and vice versa. She says they both ruled the 60s. Boyd said he provoked the Beatles and that the song is timeless, which is kind of interesting, right? So I don't know. I'm listening and it's just it doesn't feel like only a song or only something to move to. It feels like something you should internalize and study really and truly.
Oh, the times they are a changing. Some writers and critics who prophesize with your pen. And keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin. And there's no telling who that it's naming. Was the loser now will be later to win. For the time.
I like that. I like that thought. That little lyric there. And a loser now will be later to win. So that means if you lose right now and you're able to like pick up, study, and get back on your feet in the future, there's possibility for you to win and for you to change if you are different and not stagnant, right? Because if you don't learn to swim, you'll sink like a stone. There we go. All right. So Boyd says 1964 the song was Dylan's prophetic declaration of societal change and a youth-driven revolution and a warning to the old establishments to stay out of the way. He inspired Lennon to write from the heart. John Lennon wrote poetry, but he thought that songwriting and writing poetry were separate things, and that writing songs meant writing silly pop songs. Marty continues with, but after he met Dylan, he realized it was basically the same thing, and that he could turn his poetry into songs. He also introduced the Beatles to his friend Mary Jane, right? So this is very interesting just to listen to see how so many different bands and people kind of just interacted and, formed this kind of like parasocial kind of relationship. They knew each other, they knew of each other, they kind of interacted, they kind of socialized, they kind of inspire, that kind of thing. So it's really interesting just to witness how, or to kind of look back on how these things change and cause and effect, really.
Times they are a changing. Senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall.
That is important.
For he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled. The battle outside raging will soon shake your windows and rattle your walls. For the times they are a changing. Mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can't lend your hand. For the times they are a-changing.
Yo, I gotta say, I love this guy. I love the way he writes. I need to check out more Bob Dylan work. Wow. The political one, the one where he was saying, come congressmen, come leaders, da 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 da. That is very important. I think we realize that a lot of people in certain positions are older, like they are way older, right? They are way, way older. And the thing is, a lot of people assume that because you're older, you have wisdom and you have knowledge that maybe a person middle age or a person probably younger wouldn't necessarily have. So the thing is, even though the world kind of changes, right? A lot of people in these leadership positions are still stuck in the 1980s and the 1970s, and it's like because the leadership has been stuck in a period for so long, things don't change as rapidly as it could, or things are not made with the intention of the new world and the possibilities that we have within that world. So I really understand the lyrics and what he was saying, because if you don't allow the generation that we have right now to kind of thrive and do what they do, it kind of backfires, it kind of backfires. Bob said it. Bob said it, right?
The line it is drawn, the curse it is cast. The slow one now will later be fast, as the present now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading, and the first one now will later be last, for the times they are a-changin'.
Oh my gosh, I love Bob Dylan. Now I'm gonna agree with Marty. Bob Dylan is probably the best songwriter ever. I don't know. If I meet somebody who is writing such impactful lyrics, I'm just gonna be like, okay, I guess, because this dude is shining in my eyes. Like as somebody who loves writing, somebody who studies and observes society and the way people communicate. I'm gonna say this again. I study communication, so I love looking at how people interact. So as somebody who studies that and understands words and music and these different things, fascinating, absolutely legend to me right now.